more isn't better, only better is better. And so sometimes more is better. I'm thinking about one of the things we're going to talk about. We could talk about it now because I have several.
More donations to this food co-op is better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, sometimes more is better for sure.
Yes. Sometimes more sex is better. Sometimes more sex is too much.
Right.
And so
I've been on both ends of that spectrum.
That's comment redacted. Yeah, no, I'm thinking. So one of my added values later on is Drake's new album, which is called Scorpion.
Drizzy.
Yeah, he's got 25 songs on it, and that's been the big complaint from everyone. But for me, it's like, okay, I don't like all 25 songs on this album, but I'm really glad he put 25 songs on here because I think the songs that people really like, the singles, are the ones I don't like. And so I can kind of make my own version. Like, I can make a great 15-song version of Scorpion that is, like, masterpiece level good. In this case, it was one of those rarities where more was better in this case. Now I think what Nick is saying here is something different. Like, hey, should I spend more money on this thing if I can't afford it? Well, what do you mean by afford it? So if you can't afford it, spending more money is probably the wrong thing. But if you can afford it, then spending more today will often save you money in the long run, right, Ryan? So if the pair of pants cost you $100, but they're going to last you for 2 years, that's better than buying 10 pairs of $10 pants that are going to last you 1 month each. And by the way, you don't even like them anyway, right?
Yeah. No, I think about, I learned that with my like shaver I bought a while ago. Like just a trimmer.
Yeah.
Because they got like, $8 trimmers. I thought I was get the $8 trimmer.
Yeah.
And replace it 3 months later.
Right.
Yeah, it was
so it ends up costing you more when you do that, right?
Right.
So I have this really short blog post from Seth Godin that his question reminded me of. It's called The Shortcut Crowd. He said, there is no market. There are markets. And markets have segments. There are people who enjoy buying expensive wine. There are people who will save up their money to have a big wedding. There are people who pay to have a personal trainer. And within segments, there are careful consumers, traditional consumers, consumers who seek out the cutting edge. There are bargain hunters, luxury snobs, and people who measure the way Consumer Reports does. Often overlooked, though, is the fact that in many markets, particularly involving personal finance, small business, and relationships, there are people who are obsessed with the shortcut. They want something that's too good to be true. They respond to big promises that offer magical, nearly instant results. They want a squeeze page, a tripwire offer, a hard sell. They respond to these messages because they're a signal that a shortcut is on offer. My grandmother, this is the part that really stood out to me, Ryan, because I bought a exercise bike recently. And I'll explain why in a moment. It actually saved me money, so we'll get to that. My grandmother, who never exercised a day in her life, bought an exercise machine from a late-night TV commercial. When it sat gathering dust, she explained that she thought it would do the exercise for her and was disappointed that it didn't magically make her fit for $99. So it goes on. We'll put a link to that because it's a longer essay than that. I don't want to read the whole thing. But the part that stood out to me there, Ryan, was like, yeah, just buying the thing doesn't mean it's going to improve your life. Bex and I have been, for about 2 months, considering buying an exercise bike. And it's an expensive purchase, but we've been spending a decent amount of money at SoulCycle and not even going every single day, like going once a week or sometimes at max twice a week. And that starts to add up pretty quickly. And also, I don't have the convenience of being able to do it in my own house. And by the way, a SoulCycle class is usually an hour long, and you pack half an hour on each side to get there and shower and everything else, and all of a sudden it's 2.5 hour commitment to doing this exercise class. That becomes a barrier. For me, it was like, okay, what if I want to do 20 or 30 minutes of cardio? This is a great way for me to do that. And so being able to justify, we're actually going to spend less money over the long run, even though I'm going to have to spend, or I had to spend, a Bex and I had to spend a good chunk of money right now in order to buy an exercise bike.
And you didn't just buy a $99 late night commercial exercise bike either.
I am hoping it does the exercises for me, though. That'd be great.
That's why you paid more money for it.
That's right.
My short answer
Wait,
is
by the way, remember those infomercials like they had the electric shocks you put on your abs that were going to work your abs while you're watching TV?
Yeah, dude. Too good to be true.
Yes, indeed.
My short answer is this: forsaking your budget is more harmful than forsaking quality. So, yeah, of course, if you can afford a quality item, get the quality item. But if you got to go into debt to get the quality item, that is the wrong reason to get the quality item.
Yeah.
A good example is like this pair of pants I'm wearing. They were like $100.
Yeah.
And someone came. They're like, "Man, I really like those pants."
Did you put on your Diners Club card?
Yes, I did. What's the brand? Where can I get them? And I told them, and then they shot me a text, and they're like, I looked them up. It's a little bit outside of my budget. Mm-hmm. Are there any other sports brands that you would recommend that maybe would have a cheaper option, so forth and so on? Right. Yes, like this is the pair of pants I really like. Mm-hmm. I feel good in them. They're comfortable. They're great. I can afford them. I don't have to put them on my Diners Club card. And my friend, who would have to put it on a Diners Club card, they quickly realized, like, oh, yeah, these are a good pair of pants, but I'm not going to go out of my way just to get a pair of pants that Ryan has because Ryan has them, and I'm certainly not going to go into debt to get those pair of pants. I think that is the question that we need to be asking Nick. It's not about always buying the better quality item. You've got to have room for it in your budget. And the other thing too is like, how much is it going to cost you outside of, like you said, outside of the money? Mm-hmm. I mean, do you have time to take care of it? Do you have time to appreciate it? Do you have time to change the oil in the thing? Whatever it may be, there are a lot of costs to consider. But just to sit there and look at quality versus quantity, yes, that's an important factor. But I think there are a lot of other things we need to consider before making a purchase just over quality versus quantity.